The first attempt at a proper historiography was undertaken by Robert Brady, who refuted the supposed antiquity of Parliament and belief in the immutable continuity of the law. Brady realized that the liberties of the Charter were limited and argued that the liberties were the grant of the king. By putting Magna Carta in historical context, he cast doubt on its contemporary political relevance. His historical understanding did not survive the Glorious Revolution, which, according to the historian J.G.A. Pocock, marked a setback for the course of English historiography. According to the Whig interpretation of history, the Glorious Revolution was an example of the reclaiming of ancient liberties, reinforced with Lockean concepts. The Whigs believed England's constitution to be a social contract, based on documents such as Magna Carta, the Petition of Right, and the Bill of Rights. The English Liberties, 1680. In later versions often British Liberties, by the Whig propagandist Henry Kerr. D. 1688, was a cheap polemical book that was influential and much reprinted in the American colonies as well as Britain, and made Magna Carta central to the history and the contemporary legitimacy of its subject. Ideas about the nature of law in general were beginning to change. In 1716, the Septennial Act was passed, which had a number of consequences. First, it showed that Parliament no longer considered its previous statutes unassailable, as it provided for a maximum parliamentary term of 7 years, whereas the Triennial Act, 1694, enacted less than a quarter of a century previously, had provided for a maximum term of 3 years. It also greatly extended the powers of Parliament. Under this new constitution, monarchical absolutism was replaced by parliamentary supremacy. It was quickly realized that Magna Carta stood in the same relation to the king in Parliament as it had to the king without Parliament. This supremacy would be challenged by the likes of Granville Sharp. Sharp regarded Magna Carta as a fundamental part of the Constitution, and maintained that it would be treason to repeal any part of it. He also held that the Charter prohibited slavery. Sir William Blackstone published a critical edition of the 1215 Charter in 1759, and gave it the numbering system still used today. In 1763, Member of Parliament John Wilkes was arrested for writing an inflammatory pamphlet. No. 45. The 23rd of April 1763. He cited Magna Carta continually. Lord Camden denounced the treatment of Wilkes as a contravention of Magna Carta. Thomas Paine, in his Rights of Man, would disregard Magna Carta and the Bill of Rights on the grounds that they were not a written constitution devised by elected representatives.